You're not posting on social media, are you? Because you're worried about being judged.
Yeah, we feel it too. It's a completely natural, normal feeling when it comes to social media. I've definitely been there, partner. How about you?
Yeah, absolutely. And when I mastered it, it feels like a switch went off.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. What is the on button for you that changed things?
Well, I think there's many aspects of it, and let's just tease them out. You're not posting on social media, are you? Because you're worried about being judged. Can we talk about this right now?
It's a juicy topic for sure, and one we have very often with all the wonderful entrepreneurs that we work with because we get it. We absolutely get it. We feel it too. It's a completely natural, normal feeling when it comes to social media. I've definitely been there, partner. How about you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And when I mastered it, it feels like a switch went off. This switch of fear of judgment, it's just not there anymore. There is an on and there is an off button. Let's find the on button for posting to social media without fear of judgment. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, I want to talk about that. What did it for you? What is the on button for you that changed things?
Well, I think there's many aspects of it, and let's just tease them out. Let's see what it is that is behind that judgment, that fear of judgment. Who's judging who? Are you judging you?
Good question, because exactly right. I think we're our harshest judges. Absolutely. We always say that, right? We are our biggest critic. So why? Why are we so why are we so hard on ourselves? Why does it because I think it feels so inauthentic. And I think often we don't want to show up in a fake way. We don't want to put it on. We don't want to be this clown that's performing for the circus. And that's the way it feels sometimes. So how do we get out of that?
You nailed it. Performance versus authenticity. That's the answer right there.
And it's okay. It's okay. If you are wanting to be a content creator, then by all means, find your niche, find your thing, go all in. You know, you can create the performance, you can amp it all up, you can be whoever you want to be. But if you are a business founder, like so many of the amazing women we work with, that is trying to authentically build a personal brand online that feels like them, that doesn't feel like they're acting or pretending or amping up aspects of their life to show up, that get overwhelmed because of all of that, like that's who we want to help, and that's where we want people to get to. How do we do that? How to become that version of ourselves that's comfortable enough to show up online like this and just talk and just share and teach and give our amazing ideas space out in the world.
And can we just come back to the basics of knowing that the world wants more authenticity? The world is done with performance. Well, that's the entertainment side of things, by all means. We need performance. Recognize that performance is for entertainment, not for business. When you're a business leader and you're showing up as a thought leader, you're showing up authentically. You're sharing your views, your opinions. And I want to tap into why it's so important that women, in particular, share their opinion now. It's a big topic. There's a lot we can unpack here.
Yeah, it's important. And I mean, and so often we've said, and we repeat again, that when you do show up for others, you help them show up too, right? It's a little bit of like, I see someone else like me doing this thing. And even if that thing is hard, like showing up on a stage, being a guest on a podcast, whatever it is, or just, you know, having a conversation on social media, whatever that is, when you see other people like you doing that thing, then you feel braver to do it, right? It's that permission based. And that's really important too. So even when it does feel hard for you, and trust me, every day this still feels hard for me. I still don't think of this as always easy, but I get so much out of it that it's worth it for me to show up.
So beautiful. And thank you for sharing your vulnerability, that this is still something that you're working on. And yet from the outside, it looks like you've got it all together, partner. I'm telling you. So it's lovely to know that there is something else underneath that's saying there's still work to be done. I could still grow. I could still improve. And I believe that when we don't have that, then we're either ripe and rotting. In other words, there's no more room to grow. We're rotting. We're into decay. We're always learning. We're always growing. We're always improving. So, isn't it wonderful to know that that feeling that there's more, that we could be better, is actually our indicator that we're on the right track. We're growing. It's a
I
beautiful
think this
thing, and we don't grow without doing the scary thing. We do not grow without doing something uncomfortable. There is no growth in the comfort zone.
Yeah, I think once you start extending that comfort zone too and doing those hard things and taking those first steps of action, that there's something starts to pull you to do more. It's a weird thing, and maybe this is me. So tell me if this is just me. But there's just like a pull of like, I know this isn't all for me. I know this isn't my full potential. There's still more out there. It's almost as if like curtains start to get pulled back, of possibility. And you're, oh, okay, if I can do that hard thing, well, maybe I can do the next hard thing.
Yes, and I take it to another level, which is a conversation that we had not so long ago. And I think this is a conversation we have on a semi-regular basis. We'll be doing something and it's really found its own rhythm in our business. And one of us, or both of us, at the same time will say something along the lines of, I'm ready for a stretch. I feel like it's time to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's this sense in your body that tells you when you're not stretching yourself enough. Yeah. That's where the hunger is.
Exactly. And I think it's time to like feed into that hunger a little bit, and kind of allow that to help drive us as women, as business owners, as people who are leaders in whatever you're in, field you're in. There's a little bit of that hunger there that I think it's easy to suppress when fear kind of rises to the surface, when imposter syndrome kind of has you, holding yourself back. But it's when you kind of go, okay, I feel the hunger and I've got to do it anyway. I know it's scary. I know it's out of my comfort zone. I know I might completely mess up things. And I've said before, you're probably going to suck the first time you do something new. That's okay. When we first started with the radio show, I sucked. My voice sounded terrible. I didn't have the equipment now that I know I need, like all the things. You get better at things the more you do it, and then year after year and experience after experience, things get easier. They feel more natural. They feel more comfortable. And then, yeah, you kind of start seeing, okay, momentum building towards doing more. So, yeah, I've actually seen a few people say, and because we know social media is one of the difficult spaces for so many people to get on and do a live or talk or do a video or whatever. But so many people are saying that I see this, I kind of love it, that they started a new account and like blocked all their family and friends. And I kind of find it hilarious, and I think it's a little bit of a bit, but I also find it interesting because I think it's that fear of being judged, like we said in the very beginning, the reason why people might even want to do that in the first place. Because they're worried about the people closest to them judging them. Isn't that crazy? The people closest to you should be hyping you up. You should have a hype squad hyping you up, not people that you are worried about what, judging you because maybe you're a little cringy the first time you do a video rather than going, oh my God, my best friend did a video and sharing it. It's kind of wild, but I get it.
This lands so well for me. I remember I was rehearsing a speech that I was going to present to a room full of strangers. And it was really important to me because it was going to be an identifying factor in my career, my next career step. And I'd worked a lot of hours in prepping the speech, and I presented the speech as a rehearsal to my partner. And I froze. I froze in fear. I could not lean on all the things that I'd practiced and all that I'd worked on because it meant so much to me that he saw me as capable and competent. And that was all my story because he already saw me as that, of course. Yet that just blocked my path. And you sharing that just reminded me of how, because the people who are closest to us, we care the most about, whether it's impressing them or just showing up for them or whatever that is, it matters most. When something matters deeply, then we find ourselves self-judging, and holding ourselves back.
Wow, that makes so much sense. It's such a good point as to why we hold back around the ones we love the most. And another constant thing we talk about with entrepreneurs too is the people who are around you don't often understand you if they've never experienced entrepreneurship, and they love you and want to protect you, so they give you advice like, no, go get a safe job, or just do a little side hustle and make sure you still have your insurance, and all of these things that keep people from taking that big leap. And I get it. It comes from a place of love usually, and protection, but it's a thing that holds us back from taking those big risks and from trying those things that we know somewhere deep down are necessary, like speaking on social media and becoming a thought leader so that you can push your mission forward. Like, these things are hard and they feel uncomfortable in front of the people that love you the most and want to protect you, but also know you the best and see you doing this thing and go, that's not the Laura I know. Laura's never done that before. What is she doing? So it's the hardest to do it in front of those people.
It is, and I would love to remind our listeners and our viewers that when a person responds like that, and if you're there when they respond like that, like, well, what are you doing? What is this new thing you're doing? That is all about them. That indicates where they're at. It has nothing to do with you. It is not a reflection of who you're being. You're being different. You're doing something new. You're stretching, you're growing, you're shining your light. You're doing the thing you're called to do, and it's foreign to them. So they're going to have a response. That's their response. It is outside of anything that you've done.
Oh, that's deep. That's tough. Like, it's tough to accept sometimes that the closest people to you won't understand what you're doing and maybe not appreciate it, and maybe have things to say that aren't going to feel good to you.
And when did we decide that they needed to?
Good point. Exactly right. And why don't we instead surround ourselves with communities of people that do get it? I think that's the key. When you're doing something that's outside the norm of your circle, then you need another circle. You need to replace your circle. I'm not saying leave your friends behind. What I'm saying is you just need another group of people that do get it, that can be your hype squad, and also be the people, and usually, you want some that are further ahead than you, that help to inspire you and motivate you and mentor you and guide you to do the hard things that the friends group that you had or family that just didn't kind of get what you were doing. So I think a real key in all of this is getting the right people around you.
Community gives us permission, and it gives us the safe space to practice doing the thing that we're wanting to get good at. So when I want to learn snowboarding, I'm going to a snowboarding school, right? I'm not going to go to a ski school or ski class and take my snowboard. I'm not. I'm going to go with snowboarders because they've done it before. They've got some tips for me. A very current example, the snowboarding was a few years ago, but the current example is squash. I've been going to social squash lately, and every time I play, because it's been more than 20 years since I was on a court, I'm picking up tips. I'm having my other partner in the social game share with me, oh, you can do this with your swing, you can do this with your grip, you can do this with your positioning. And it's wonderful because I'm learning and being lifted up. Even though I'm losing, getting smashed on the court, it's fun because I'm learning and I'm in that community of people who want to see me succeed. And this is true in every aspect of life.
That's it. In the community of people that want to see you succeed. We have to get in those spaces. And we have to be okay with being a beginner. Because I think when we go in with the mindset of I'm a beginner and I'm learning, then you're just going to be open to receiving advice and getting feedback and taking it constructively and not personally, right? It's a bit of a different mindset than, oh my God, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to be cringe and then I'm not going to do it ever again. Which
Absolutely.
is, it happens. A lot of people do that. We know it's hard.
Absolutely. And I will confess, when I first started going to squash a few weeks back, my first words out of my mouth were, I haven't been on a court for 20 years. And the gentleman that I said that to just looked at me blankly. And here I was apologizing for something before I'd even tried it. Habits, habits, habits. Ladies, please stop apologizing. Let's learn from the guys in our life who you very rarely hear. What guy ever apologizes for something he hasn't tried yet? It just isn't on their remit. It's just not. It's a mindset shift. So no more apologies, no more trying to play small before you've even tried to do the thing. And then plant in your mind that you've got this and you are good at what you do, or you wouldn't be called into this space to be doing it and sharing it. And this is where thought leadership all starts. It's you have an idea, you have a mini movement that you are sharing with the world, and you want to encourage others to come with you on this mission because it matters to you. How are you going to do that? How are you showing up on social media as that thought leader who believes in yourself more than you need anybody outside of you to believe in you? And where do you find that belief in yourself? You borrow the belief from your community because they see it in you before you see it in you.
Yeah. I think that's what can shift to the mindset of I don't know what to post. I don't, I don't want to. When you're shifting the mindset into like, how can I help others? How can I serve my niche? How can I share my mission? How can I tell my story so that others can relate to it and like shine a light on something else? It's not. It doesn't feel as much like putting a spotlight on yourself, which I understand feels so uncomfortable. But instead, can you shine a spotlight on something that's important to you and start there? And then it's your ideas, your opinions, your research, data, whatever it is that you have to share. It's yours and you're putting it out there for feedback, right? And accept that some of the feedback might be hard to take sometimes, but that's all part of doing something important because not everyone's always going to understand it. Not everybody's going to always agree with it. There's going to be people with different opinions. And that's why you and I like to talk a lot, Vicky, about like the magnetic marketing, right? But it's magnetic personal branding too. And magnets both attract and repel at the same time with the same strength. And that's okay. It's actually a really good thing, right?
It is such an important aspect of marketing and personal branding to know that there will be people in the world who do not agree with you. And when did we decide that the whole world needed to agree with us? I mean, how incredibly bland and vanilla that would be if everybody agreed with us. I mean, where would the conversation be? You'd say something and someone would agree. Pretty much stops there, doesn't it? Having an opinion is sharing your thoughts, your heart, your view of the world. You're helping to advance a cause. You're helping to expand somebody else's awareness with your opinion. And in this, I'd love to just just touch on this whole concept of right and wrong, because perhaps we think that we don't want to share an opinion in case it's wrong or we're proven wrong later, or like, what is our relationship with right and wrong?
Yeah. And can it just be okay that maybe you are wrong? And that's okay because if you're going towards something, working towards something, and maybe there's research and stuff involved in what you're doing, if somebody can prove you wrong, then maybe it's a pivot and a change. It's not a shutdown. It's not a personal attack. It's how we interpret feedback that matters.
It's the meaning we give the feedback. Yes, it's how we interpret the feedback. What do we do with that feedback? What does it mean to us? And what is wrong anyway? If it's an opinion, there is no way on the planet that my opinion can be wrong. It's not wrong. I'm sharing my view of the world. That is my view of the world. I'm not saying that everybody has to live by it.
Yeah, and I can disagree with your opinion. That's totally fine. Like, we don't have to agree or have the same opinion because we have different lived experiences and we've read different books and we live on the opposite sides of the planet. So our experiences are naturally different. And that's okay. And that's good. So that makes for interesting discussion. And I think when we can take social media out from like, and I'm not talking about content creation and entertainment, but take it into like the conversational space, which works really, really well on a platform like LinkedIn. I think X is good for that too. So it depends on, where you like to play, what sandbox you like to play in. We're big fans of LinkedIn because it's a great space for business to business communication, selling, promotion, especially if you're service based. But even if you're product based business, if it serves corporate, kind of settings, then it can work really, really well there too. So know your niche, of course, caveating it with all that. But LinkedIn is a really great place to share opinions to get illicit feedback, and share thought leadership to get people on your mission and to start sharing stuff and creating conversations, cultivating conversations, and having conversations with other people. Because I wonder if people know, Vicky, that like 1% of the people on LinkedIn at any given time are creating something, are posting something. The other 99% are consuming information. You want to stand out? You just got to be in the 1%. Post once a week. Can have profound impact.
Yes. And it's such a low-hanging fruit opportunity, isn't it, when you position it like that? That you don't need to be a content creator on LinkedIn. We're inviting you to have an opinion and share it and start a conversation. Imagine LinkedIn is a networking room that you've stepped into and you connect with somebody. However, you are posting, it feels like you're broadcasting to the world. What if that post was done with the intention and the tone that you were just talking to one person? What might shift in your mindset, in how safe your body feels, and in the response you get when you post as if you're talking to one person? The one person who's ready to connect with you. The one person who wants to know more about your opinion, wants to lean in more to your school of thought, wants to learn from you, wants to grow with you. How delicious is that?
They just resonate with what you have to say. So they're exactly your niche. They're exactly your next client or customer. And the ones who don't are more likely than just going to scroll by because they're like, oh, not for me. Yeah, you start to just keep attracting. That magnet just works for you. It just keeps attracting, pulling in the right people. And, a lot of us run businesses where we don't even need hundreds and thousands of clients and customers. A lot of us run businesses that, 10 clients would keep us pretty busy and financially secure in a good position. Those solo entrepreneurs out there, you probably don't need, so we're not talking about trying to attract everybody on the internet and create such high quality, polished this and that posts. You can be simple and authentic, but have something important and interesting and get exactly all the people you need attracted to your business that easily. It's not that. We often overcomplicate it and think it's so much bigger than it is, but yet it is simple and we should start to simplify it. Like start to just think, like you said, you just need to talk to that one person. And I do like when you try to talk to that one person in social media. I do like when you're not like, hey guys, and it's more like, hey, have you ever, thought this, or you ever found yourself in this position, or no, it's just a more direct, more personal, more
More
engaging.
authentic.
authentic,
less
my favorite word.
performative.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
just
it's
more
a
real.
connection. And this is what we talk about in our We Women Founder Circle is how do we form connections with people online and offline? People who are clients already, people who are potential clients, partners. How do we use and build on our relationships? Not so much use, but how do we use the relational value, the value of relationships in the work that we do and the many movements that we're building? And this is, yeah, it's a wonderful conversation. If you are listening to this, watching this, and you're interested in how you might be able to take your relationship and conversations from LinkedIn into the real world, in person world, we have a beautiful challenge for you. It's called LinkedIn to Latte, and it is an offer that we can put some links in the show notes where you can see how you can challenge yourself to create real connections with new people in your ideal circle by using LinkedIn in a really quite fun and engaging way. So I trust you'll enjoy that. Download
Yeah.
it.
Download it below. And as always, you can join Vicky and I in our masterclass once a month. We host on personal branding. If you're interested in raising your personal brand this year and want to take it to the next level, come along. We have a new topic every month, and we'd love to see you there. The link should be below. Thanks, partner. We'll talk
Thanks.
again soon.
Great convo.
Always.